Three, two, one, ghost. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 321 Ghost. I'm your host with a silent G, and as always, joined by my pal, Natalie. My name's Kyle, by the way. How are you, Natalie?
I'm doing great. How are you? You
Doing great.
you pulled a Natalie.
A
That's what
little
we can
bit
call that now.
here, and I was giving you shit for it the other week, right?
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
here I am. Yeah, here I am, egg on my face. Hey, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the 2022 film, the sequel, Orphan First Kill, which is actually technically the
A
prequel.
prequel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel about prequels in general? Does the idea of prequels excite you?
No, the idea of prequels is pretty exhausting, actually. But I think this is the second prequel that I've watched that I liked better than the first.
I agree. I'm gonna say that this movie is the exception to the rule.
Yes.
So, but gosh, here I was gonna be like, well, clearly the most famous, infamous prequel you can think of is probably those Star Wars ones, right? Starting with
Mm.
Phantom Menace,
Are they
and
really prequels though, if like the story was
yeah.
already written?
I mean, technically, they're referred to as the prequel trilogy. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna just go
Okay,
how the general audience has interpreted it, right?
fair enough.
But then again, and I forget if I've said this in another episode. I think I did. Gosh, you run into people that love those fucking movies. Like
Yeah.
the first one's okay. Like I do think the first one's okay. It's really silly. It's really dumb. It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. The second one, absolute, just gouge my fucking eyes out. Attack of the Clones, that's so bad. It's the most boring one ever.
I don't even remember it.
It's so bad. And the third one is also dumb. And people say like, "Oh no, it's cool when Anakin turns into Vader." And I'm like,
I kind of enjoy it.
it's like when we're talking about like Ray and his heel turn, like in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Wow,
Um,
spoilers.
Spoiler alert, but it's the same thing. You're just kind of like, I don't know if Hayden Christensen just has it in him to
Yeah,
to do
he
this. You take
he
this
seems too
cardboard character
sweet.
and just he's just kind of dumb, kind of fine, whatever. He looks good for him. And then we're expecting that he has this gravitas, and hey, at least he can say, hey man, I'm acting against fucking cartoons and green screens. What can I do? Freddie Prinze Jr. doesn't have that same excuse. But
I have a hot take on Star Wars in general. I think
mhm,
Star Wars biggest fans also hate Star Wars movies and shows the most because they have the most critical fucking lens other than those first three films.
I would say it's more of just kind of like a bullshit entitlement based on not being able to let go of their nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a super hot take. I feel like that's
Thank you.
Star Wars fandom is
It's
like
wild.
and yeah, on the internet it's so gross. The internet's just kind of gross in general. I don't know what's worse though nowadays, Star Wars fandom or like that period of Ghostbusters fandom where apparently everyone came out and apparently is the biggest Ghostbusters fan on the fucking planet. Where the fuck were you? I mean, I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan.
You are.
I thought the Kevin Feige one, or sorry, not Kevin Feige, he's the Marvel guy. The who's the guy? Paul Feig. That's it. Who did the one with Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones and them? It
I
was
like that movie.
it's fine. People
Yeah.
just
I thought it was fun enough.
I think people just use their fandom to deflect how fucking shitty they are, you know? And this like entitlement that like, oh, I as a fan, I deserve this, like I bought all the lunch
Hmm.
boxes, I watched all the cartoons, you should be catering to me, you know.
We never do that.
Never,
Never.
ever. I know. You can see like my the wheels
The
spinning in
wheels
my brain as
turning.
I finish that last sentence, being like, let me check, let me check, let me check. Was I just talking about this during I Know What You Did Last Summer? No,
Is it sounding familiar?
it's made for me. Um, especially with horror movies, because I think there's, so much horror in what you don't know.
Yes.
And prequels generally, we'll do some sort of like backstory for whoever your villain is. This one, of
Hmm.
course, is no different. However, I do feel it's an exception. And gosh, I mean, whether it's straight up just prequels to horror movies or even remakes that try to elaborate on the backstory, like,
Hmm.
who fucking cares about
Yeah.
that first hour of that Rob Zombie Halloween movie? Jesus Christ. Like, like,
It's an interesting approach to Michael Myers for sure.
yeah, it's and like, and you don't need to know this. Like, and literally, it just undermines the entire point
Hmm.
of the movie was that he didn't even like, I mean, in the first movie, he didn't even have a fucking name. It was just, or like, he was just called the Shape,
Hmm.
you know? Um, and then they just start, and then they start building on the, the Laurie Strode being a sister shit and all of that.
Hmm.
Um, and then of course, yeah, then that Rob Zombie one. But this movie, on the other hand, I really think does a fun job.
Yeah.
It's not as connected to the second movie or the first movie rather. Um, that
It is enough that they managed to make it work, I think.
but it's not like it's really only at the end where they're like, well, I think we found a family that would be interested, and it kind of sends her off to
Hmm.
it probably puts, the all the events in motion for the first film. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this separates itself quite a bit. And also, gosh, like really, also not only do I think this is an exception to the rule as far as prequels, but I also think that this is also sometimes one of the rare instances where a sequel head over heels surpasses the original.
Absolutely. It's so one of the things that's interesting about this, well, there's a lot of things that are interesting about this movie, but what's interesting about the plot of this movie, because you said it wasn't like super connected to the second one, it really like you could kind of put Esther in any house and it'll work. But the writer said that one of his goals was to fix plot holes or what people were calling out as plot holes from the first one, which I thought was really funny because a lot of people were questioning how the fuck did this grown ass woman make it into an orphanage, like with no background of any kind, no paperwork from Estonia. So that was like this huge like question mark. So it kind of filled in the blanks of how she could have pulled that off by posing as someone else's missing child. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But we're not the only people who feel this way about this movie, and I think not enough people have watched it. The first Orphan has a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes as the critic score, and then it has a 63% audience score. And then Orphan First Kill goes up to 70% for the critic score and 77% for the audience score. So we're not alone.
Yeah, I think what bumped it up to 77 is definitely that moment where everyone's like, "Oh shit, what?"
But before you say anything,
I won't.
I have to say this about this movie before we spoil anything. The spoiler or like the twist of this movie is not the same as the first one. We know that Esther is a grown-ass woman. We know she's posing as a child. We know what her agenda is. She's out to get husbands. So there is a different twist in this movie, and we are going to spoil it and probably pretty early on. So if you have not watched this movie, please, please, please don't ruin it for yourself. Watch it and then come back and listen to this.
We do this every time. I am not in the business of telling people what to do.
I
If y'all want to
have
go,
to.
I think it's personally a little unhinged, but I say go for it. Listen to the
No.
episode. All I care about is the listen, Natalie.
Okay, when did you first watch this movie? Because I watched it before you, correct?
For some reason, I thought maybe we watched it together, but maybe not. It
No,
was,
we did not watch it together, and I'll tell you why.
mhm.
I had my house to myself and was like, all right, what is something that a horror movie that I want to watch? And I remember thinking that Kyle absolutely would not want to watch for a movie night. And I saw Orphan First Kill, pop up on the screen. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Who cares if it seems like the exact same plot twice in a row? Because I was just, like scrolling on my phone, doing shit around the house while the beginning of it was on. And then all of a sudden, here's where your spoilers come in. That twist with Julia Stiles happens in the middle of the movie. And I just completely dropped like every device and everything I was doing. It was like, this shit just got really interesting and started watching it like fully focused. And I think I texted you and was like, you should watch Orphan First Kill.
You had me at Julia Stiles.
I know, I love her.
Industry legend, Julia Stiles.
Sure. Is this like the only horror movie she's been in?
Yeah, but I like Save the Last Dance too.
Hmm. Fucking hip hop ballet.
I know. What a it's
What a movie
peanut
about
butter
a
and chocolate, you know.
it's like a love story of a little bit of appropriation, but it's fine, I guess, to
I
everyone in the
guess.
movie.
I don't know. Um hey everyone, tune into our side project, Save the Last Dance cast. And we'll get into that a little more. But the wild thing though is that the writer, who is let's see, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. Well, the story is by him. The screenplay is David Ogashal. And this is also directed by William Brent Bell, who did the first one. And
Hmm.
do you remember the last one that we covered that he directed?
Stay alive.
So bad.
Such a different vibe.
I know. Um, you didn't, what do they say? It's like truth is stranger than fiction. Um, boy, because they pull from essentially real life events. Like when a horror
Hmm.
movie says it's based on a true story, it's like,
Not
okay,
really.
not really. The most bare minimum kind of
Hmm.
connections, like, or it's like how every single doll movie that says based on a true story is based off the same story. It's just
Yes.
they all go in wild different directions with it,
Hmm.
you know? But fuck, there are too many cases of grown-ass adults posing as children and integrating themselves into families.
Are there
It
that
is a
many?
yes, there are. And not only was that happening, um, and again, someone from Europe, like on the run, looking at, missing children and being like, oh, okay, I can play that one. Sometimes, I mean, there were cases where like, and it reminded me of this movie where like the kid has like this new kid, right, has like an accent, doesn't even look the same.
Hmm.
And but the family, unfortunately, I just think in their grief, right, or just their
Yeah, it's
shock, the brain will fuck with you, I guess.
yes, absolutely. The trauma and grief will get you.
It's wild too that, say, the first Orphan was based off some of those stories, and then another real life thing happened where this kid that actually has dwarfism was accused by the foster parents of being a grown-ass adult
Oh,
when she
yeah.
wasn't, and they like abused her and tortured her. They have it's
Wasn't her name Natalie?
maybe, I
Something?
don't
She's
know.
Russian?
There's a Hulu show on it, with Mark Duplass,
Yes,
and they
I haven't
reference
watched it.
Orphan. They're like, this is an orphan situation.
Hmm.
And in real life, they reference like Orphan made us think that this kid is absolutely not a kid when in actual fact she was, which is
Hmm.
pretty heartbreaking. Um, again, which, like I said, I hate to be the wet blanket sometimes, but I remember talking about this during the movie Orphan when we were covering it. Like, mm, I don't know if this sends the best message of like, you know, the people thinking there's some inherent danger or risk of accepting foster children
Hmm.
into your family.
Would you at least agree that the first one is worse on that front than this one is because this one is so over the top and more camp than the first one is played more serious?
Yeah, first one is played so fucking seriously, and
Hmm.
this one is way more fun.
Yeah.
So
Like you
if you,
start the first one with a nightmare about a stillbirth. So doesn't get less
yeah,
fun than
Jesus,
that.
yeah, no, not really. Whereas actually, I like the opening on
I
this
love
one.
no, yeah, yeah. I like the opening of this one too.
So you have we mentioned Julia Stiles, of course. We also have
Hmm.
Isabel Furman, who is, it's wild. 13 years later, still playing an adult posing as a child. Um,
Hmm.
it's now they do better here than say Saw 10 or Saw X when they like be like, no, 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 this takes place between Saw 1 and 2. And
Yeah,
don't
they're
worry,
just 50 now.
yeah, Tobin Bell's the same age. It's like that. And then that movie reminds me of the Wet Hot American Summer sequel,
Oh
where
yes, because they're all just super old, but they're supposed to be teen camp counselors.
but they
Yeah.
just like fuck it, who cares? It's just the next summer, but they're all 30 years older.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. They did a lot of interesting things with Isabel Furman for this movie that I think creatively, I watched like a lot of behind the scenes stuff after I had watched this movie because I was so encapsulated by it. But I think the most fun thing that they did was these giant, huge like platforms. Like people were standing on like 6-inch platform shoes when they're standing next to her. And they're not even like made for this movie. You can tell they went to like some sort of, goth rock like website and just bought like shoes. Like there's a picture of Julia Stiles wearing a pair of black boot platforms that have fringe around the bottom of the shoe and they're so cool looking. I was like, where can we find these shoes? Um but there's that. They also said they didn't use a lot of CGI on her face to de-age her. They did makeup tricks. They put these big contact lenses in her eyes to make her, not her pupil, but her iris, I guess, look bigger, to make her eyes look younger. And then, of course, she had three child stunt doubles that would, you know, be body doubles when her face isn't showing. So they did like and like interesting camera work and shots. Like it's like this movie very much is movie magic. And I know it's not when you see her as a little girl, like in pictures next to this movie, it kind of takes you out of it. But if you're just looking at this movie, it's believable enough, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think believable enough, and the fact that they've relied so little, if at all, on CGI, like
Hmm.
I just am
It
just
helps.
in awe of the craftsmanship that went
Absolutely.
into, doing this. Like that is
Hmm.
so much fun. And that's why you I just love that yeah, they must have just bought them from the store because
Yeah.
why the fringe? You're never gonna see it,
Yeah,
right?
one of them is wearing glitter, like they're like glitter platform boots
I love
too.
that.
So like they were probably just the cheapest thing that they could find that would work for them. But I love that they didn't rely on CGI and silly effects. And there's a lot of things in this movie visually that I think are really cool. And they do rely a little bit on green screens and some effects later in the movie that are a little hard to look at. But as far as Isabel Furman's look and her size ratio and all of that, I think they did a really good job. And I also think she's just a really fun actress. Like even as a kid, she was really great. And then I think she like has a really fun time being Esther again.
I would love for them to figure out some way to make another one.
They are going to make another one.
Oh my God, I hope so. Because I think once you make the third movie, I think that enshrines Esther as like
Yeah. Yeah.
a horror villain. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like
Yes,
a an iconic one, you know.
I
I think
agree.
already it's getting there and I think
Yeah.
she's fun. Um yeah, I don't know. So this movie didn't really win a whole lot of awards. That's okay. Um got some nominees. The Fangoria Chainsaw Awards nominated it for limited release film. Isabel Furman, of course, gets nominated for Best Actress in a lot of these. Um some Golden Scythe horror awards nominations, but lost a lot of those to
Hmm.
Barbarian, which came out that year. And
Yeah.
yeah, Barbarian. I love Barbarian.
I
So
know.
I think about this time we record, uh, his new movie is going to be out. So I'll be excited to hear what people think about that one. So let me think. I am pretty much, I'm ready to hop into this movie. How about you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. So if you've seen the first one, you're going to recognize this Sarn Institute
Sarn.
that's out. Sarn, yeah, that's out in
Sarn.
Estonia. And this is in 2007. And we're following this new art instructor, this art therapist, Anna, who
Hmm.
comes,
Ill
drives
prepared.
through very ill prepared, yes, and driving through this storm, apparently driving for who God knows how long to get here. But what's the farthest you would drive for a job, Natalie?
I mean, about as far as I'm driving now, like I think 45 minutes in the car tops if it's a
Yeah.
daily drive.
Because I'm like, how often does she need to be doing that? I don't know. That's a lot.
Every day, she's not sleeping there. No way.
She gets introduced to the staff and they're like, ah, yeah, well, it's a it's a fun bunch here.
Yeah, we're gonna pat you down.
Yeah.
Everyone's a murderer.
The security here is
Uh,
obviously very lax. And they need to be just to get this fucking shit in motion.
yeah.
I like how immediately the alarms start going off and they're like, oh yeah, that's Lena. Uh, she's she's the real crazy one.
She's a bit of
Just
a
so you
wild
know.
card, but we do keep her just hands free with sharp objects, pencils, paintbrushes, whatever she wants to do her art.
Yeah, so like I guess the head of this institution, it's just like, oh, don't even worry about this. I'm gonna need you to just step in this room that we're not gonna check, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
lock you in here, okay? And I will see you later. And like immediately turns around, and Lena, who will become Esther, by the way,
Mhm.
is just sitting right there, gets a real
Drawn.
quick drawing out, you know, and
Yeah.
is like ready to stab the shit out of this woman with that
Oh,
pencil.
yeah.
I thought that was gonna happen already.
I thought it was going to go right into the jugular, like right in. Yeah.
When Anna ultimately dies, I would have hoped that she still had the pencil to like finish what she
Oh,
was gonna
that
start.
that would have been fun.
But taking a tire iron is pretty good too.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, they're just like they intervene. They're just like, ah, yeah, this is what she does. Don't even worry about it.
Silly goose.
She's not even the most violent one, to be honest. So,
Yeah, she's one of the smarter ones, but the other ones seem a little more violent.
yeah, it's like you don't have any candy on you, do you? So they put her back in her cell. And again, this is bad security. So you're gonna have your one deranged pervert security
Hmm.
guard who's giving her gifts, gives
Hmm.
her this ribbon that we'll see. So you're learning like, okay, this is why she has she has the ribbons around her neck to
Hmm.
cover the scars, but
Yeah.
this is where she was getting them from.
She knew she was gonna try to break out, so she had to cover those up. I
Yeah.
actually like this might be a hot take, hotter than the Star Wars take, but I'm glad that they have the pervy security guard, and I'll tell you why. Because it's an ongoing theme that Esther is called a freak, and that, like, that theme of like men would be disgusted by her because she's a woman that looks like a child and all of this. But like, there's disgusting people out there too that would take advantage of that. And they exist in real life too. They've made shows about this. So I think that it was an interesting dynamic to add the perv into the mix, and he gets his. But I liked that they included that because I mean it also shows a level of abuse that can happen at places like this too to women. So there's that because there's a power dynamic there, but she's managing to, as she does, use her appearance of her age to her advantage in this situation. But as sick as it is a very interesting dynamic that I think was 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 good to address.
So I get that she's an adult,
Yeah.
but I still think there's like some super strength involved here because the way
Oh
that
yeah.
she dispatches this guy by standing on a chair to
Mhm.
get like eye to eye with him and then
Mhm.
just push his face repeatedly into the wall, and he
Yeah.
puts up no fight on any of
Yeah.
this whatsoever. I was thinking like, is there like some nail on the other side that like I'm not seeing that she pushed his head
Well,
into, and that's why he's like, I don't know.
there's a lot of issues with this kill. Although I do enjoy it, the biggest issue for me, like I think about the doctor had just explained that she has a gland disorder, which keeps her the size and shape of, a 9 or 10-year-old. And when you think about the strength level of a 9 or 10-year-old, like if she's that size, her muscles should be the development of that age, right? So I think about if I were to slam a man's head against the wall once, like let's say, Kyle, I slam your head against the wall, even hard enough to make you bleed, and I have full woman strength, not even 10-year-old child's strength, you would be able to stop me even after getting your head hit once. Like, I think he would have been able to stop her very easily.
At least have a little bit of a fight, because
Yeah,
the and the other security guards really just do nothing because she's able to break out pretty quickly. She steals like his key card.
yeah,
Um, there is, like I mentioned with the candy, there just happens to be one woman who, I guess, at the sight of candy or the offer of candy, will
yeah.
just fucking
She has her
r
trained.
rip people's fucking throats out.
She trained her to do
And
that. That's so fun. I love that.
that's wild. And then, but it's the staff know that she does this because she did it while like
Hmm.
trying to attack Anna, and they, the
Hmm.
art therapist. But
They let her mop
yeah,
out
they
in
let
the
her just
open
mop out right by
by
the
the
front
door.
door. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe she has no desire to escape, so they're just like, that's fine. Even though she violently attacks.
So all it takes is, her getting candy just to throw it out, and then she dispatches the other security
Hmm.
guard at the front door. Um, Basically just able to just take his like little nightstick club from him and just fucking just bash his brains in.
Hmm.
You don't get to see it, but you do get to see the blood keep splattering on the wall, which is cool.
I absolutely love that, but like, and again, he puts up no fight. Like he's just frozen in time when she starts running at him. He has a nightstick like in his hand, and he still doesn't even, go after her. But one thing that's really cool about Esther's escape scene, this was another really fun behind the scenes thing. Her going down the hallway with the key card and hiding behind the doors and all of that, and her body double
Mm,
switching between her and the kid, that's all one take.
really?
It is one take. They filmed it as one take.
That's
And
really cool.
I thought that shit was so cool. I think they said they had to do it like maybe 20 times to get the timing right. But if you watch the camera, I had to go back and watch it a couple times just to make sure. But if you watch the camera, there are no breaks. Like they do these fun angles and camera work to like switch out the little girl double with Isabel Furman. And I'm like, that shit is dope. Like, that is some of the most fun, like just watching it, knowing that, you should go back and watch it. It's really cool.
Basically, yeah, Lena makes her way out. She approaches the car that I guess Anna was in, ready to drive home. I don't this part was a little weird because she's like there and then she's just gone, and then Anna's like, instead of just fucking driving,
Drive,
getting the
leave,
fuck
never
out of
come
there,
back.
never come back. She gets out of her car, walks back inside, as they're cleaning up all the, brain bits all over the place. The manager's just like, yeah, well, this wasn't exactly the start we were hoping for, having you here,
Gee
but
golly
that's okay.
gosh.
We move on. It's okay, as we say. We just got to reset the day since the last accident timer, and that's okay. And Hannah's just like, all right, I guess I'll come home. She's a little shaken, of course, but
No,
she
she
goes,
says she quit.
does she quit? Okay.
She said, I don't think this job is for me. Which, girl, did you have an interview? Did you ask questions? Did we know what type of institute this was?
Yeah.
She didn't do enough research.
No, and that's on her. But
It
again,
is.
2022 job market coming out of COVID. I
It was 2007.
Oh, right.
Remember?
The movie came out in
Mm-hmm.
Were we in the recession at that point? I don't know.
Not yet.
Okay. Is that '09?
Yep.
Whatever. So she goes back into her car, which Lena is clearly hiding in the back of,
Obvi-
and
Didn't look.
yeah, doesn't look, hitches a ride with Anna back to her apartment.
Mhm.
Um, she's sneaks out, gets around her, goes inside the front door, is just waiting right there for her, and just fucking stabs her up. So Anna's not dead quite yet, which is kind of
Mhm.
fun
It is
that
fun.
she's still there.
Yeah.
While so she's still there just kind of bleeding out by the front door while Lena goes and like raids the fridge a little bit, goes and
Uh-oh.
opens some wine.
What a
um
nice place that Anna lives in. I'm like, is that the type of money you make being an art therapist?
don't think so.
Like, I can't imagine that pays that well. That place is gorgeous, and Esther should have just stayed there for at least, hopefully, she stayed there for at least a couple nights, you know?
That would have been my hope. It made it seem like she left that day, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm thinking even if you were like the only like art therapist in Slovenia, or where is it?
Estonia.
Estonia, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, or if you were the premier art therapist in Estonia, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know what the housing rates are over there. So you never
No.
know. But that's a nice piano.
Yeah.
Love that.
No, everything in there. The furniture was beautiful. I was like, damn, Anna, like, are you
Look
also
at
an
you.
interior designer? Because that place looks fantastic.
Good for her.
Yeah.
So Lena opens up her laptop and starts looking at like, hey, who's some missing kids here? The other thing that's funny is that when the manager of the Sarn place was talking about Lena, he was saying like, "Oh yeah." So basically, this is a thing. This is her MO, is using her dwarfism to pretend to be a child. Like they showed some
Hmm.
previous family that she was a part of, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if that was the only time she did it prior, or if it was like multiple times.
Aren't
Um,
there more pictures in her journal? Or
I
am
think
I?
so.
Yeah, I feel like at some point Julia Stiles finds multiple pictures in the journal of different men.
So she finds one person that looks, I'd say, close enough.
It's
And
actually pictures of her as a child.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I was like, those are the fakest looking fucking photos I've ever seen. And then I just read that those are her actual childhood photos. And I was like, okay, well,
That's funny.
fun.
Um, and some missing girl out of Connecticut named Esther Albright.
Hmm.
And she's like, I can be Esther. Let's go for this. And now her name's Esther from now till
Hmm.
the end of the next movie, or
Yeah,
first movie, rather.
the first movie.
So now in Connecticut, we meet we jump back and forth between countries a little bit in this beginning. Um,
Hmm.
and we're introduced to our main family, the Albrights. We've got the dad, Alan, we've got the mom, Trisha, and then we've got the son, Gunner, who is a gives me Baron Trump vibes really hard. Like
Yeah.
this just rich, fucking entitled,
This family would
just
be
fucking
Trumpers
prick.
for sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ, they would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so weird that with that dad, it's because he's so, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like he doesn't make the decisions in that family. That's all Trisha.
No, no.
Yeah.
So the actor that plays Gunner, his name's Matthew Finlan. I was trying to figure out why he looked so familiar this watch. I didn't recognize him the first watch. He's in that movie Hell of a Summer that I hated. But he was good. He was good in that, and he actually plays like a gay theater nerd in that movie. So it's a completely different role for him. So I was like, okay, this boy has a little bit of range. I like him.
There you go. He
Yeah.
does play shithead pretty well. I'll
Oh,
give
he
him that.
does. No, he really makes you want to punch him in the dick for sure.
Yeah. So he, I guess, is a champion fencer, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't care if they put those little tips on the ends there. I have no
No.
interest in people stabbing at me. I'm good.
Mm-mm.
Even with the suit and the mask and stuff. I don't know. I've never tried fencing, nor do I think I care to. How about you?
I would not want to. The only time that I've ever been a supporter of fencing is in the Addams Family
Correct.
because they're not really caring if people get stabbed. So it makes sense that that would be a hobby for them rather than just normal people, doing things, swinging around swords. No thanks. Because they've got to be sharp on the sides, right?
Well, and
Like,
I think if you, I don't know, something like that, if you just put something hard enough into someone's gut,
ugh,
like that thin, I think it'll pierce it, you know? And
might
you
be
just,
worse with the blunt tip because then you have to really, really shove it in there.
ugh. Um, so we're introduced to this family, like I said, and they are approached by a detective
Mhm.
for the local police department that tells them, hey,
Detective
y'all,
Donnan. Donnan?
Detective Donnan, yeah.
Mhm.
He says, hey, guys, your missing daughter. Because they had a missing daughter named Esther who
Mhm.
vanished however many, few years, 4 years back.
Yeah.
Um, we found her. Turns out they've got her in Moscow.
Yeah.
So if you want to head over to the consulate and pick up your child, go for it. This family must be so fucking rich because they
Oh,
take
they're
this
so
tiny
rich.
ass,
Private
right?
jet. Hmm.
Private jet, dude. Private, not even just a private jet that's a staffed private jet.
Yeah, they do that intentionally to show how fucking wealthy they are because
Yeah.
Trisha also makes a comment later, like this family came on the Mayflower and like like they're like old money. And it makes me wonder if Alan married into Trisha's money and
Yeah.
then became a successful artist off of like riding her coattails, you know? I want to know more
Fucking
about them.
Mayflower. No one's impressed that you gave syphilis to all the natives.
No, literally. No, but I think that's like one of the fun things about this family and their characters is that like they make you root for the bad guy. Like they're such shitty people, they make you root for the bad guy, the
Right.
villain
Which,
here.
which again, I think makes it so much more fun
Uh-huh. Same.
than the first one, at least.
Yeah.
So Trisha travels to Moscow to get her, takes the plane back.
Alan was so fucking concerned but couldn't make the flight. Like that feels so
Yeah,
weird.
couldn't make the flight.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe he was thinking like, oh, I need to watch Gunner, but Gunner's looks like he's like a fucking like adult. I don't know how old Gunner is supposed to be.
He's
Like
probably
18 at least?
he's in high
16,
school.
18?
He's in high school
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
He just looks older.
Yeah.
That's okay. And then a pretty diluted like reception when she shows up to the airport and sees Alan and Gunner and they're just like, "Oh,
Hmm.
all right, we're here." Of course we're going to find out because half the family's like, okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is
It's
weird.
fun. It's fun watching this movie. This is only the second time that I've watched it. Watching it the second time around and watching everybody's eye work and like reactions to things and, their nonverbal acting is really good.
On the plane, of course, you know, Julia Stiles is showing Esther like, pictures of the family. They're like, here's Gunner, here's your
Hmm.
grandma. She messes that up and says like, oh, it'd be great to see her, but she's
Hmm.
dead. Um, Sees a picture of the dad, and like you had mentioned,
She said, "Oh,
really
daddy."
her Achilles heel is hot
Uh-huh.
daddies.
A hot daddy. Yep. And she was even watching Shirley Temple in the Institute, which
Mm-hmm.
is so gross. She's just watching this little girl on the dad's lap, just being like, I'm gonna find me a daddy.
Because she would have gotten by just fine in that first movie if she
Yeah.
just left fucking Peter Sarsgaard alone.
Yeah.
But nope, just couldn't
Like,
do it.
yeah. And I'm like, that's the man you're willing to fucking die for? I don't think so.
This guy, upgrade, I'd say. I get
Oh,
it.
upgrade. Yeah. No, this daddy can get it.
Salt
Yes.
and pepper beard and all of that,
He's
even
all
with this.
artsy and troubled. I love it.
Oh God, yeah. This is my space to let my weird out.
Yeah.
All right. So they head back to the home, which you see is a giant ass mansion. They take her to her room, which is in pink pastels and has a shit ton of dolls and a creepy little doll miniature house.
She was
Um,
younger when she left.
True.
Hmm.
And they're like, all right, well, you were gone for 4 years, and you were not only abducted from some random small town in Connecticut and then taken to Eastern Europe and was held there for 4 years. We have a child psychologist for you, or a
Yeah.
psychiatrist. And then it's Dr. Seeger, who I guess was seeing her before she was abducted too.
Yes, which I think is interesting because I feel like, I mean, obviously her older brother killed her and the mom didn't say shit, but I feel like Esther's life, the actual Esther's life, was probably not great.
Oh yeah, sounds very abusive.
Yeah, they have a weird fucking household. So it's interesting that she was seeing a therapist before she was abducted.
Yeah, and I wonder why it was she. Maybe she wouldn't have mentioned. It makes sense, but like I didn't mention at any point Gunnar being physical with her or abusive towards her.
Hmm.
Because I mean, when Julia Stiles brings it up later on, she's like, yeah, he was just
It was
fucking went too
rough.
hard and was rough with
Hmm.
her. And it sounded like, no, this is more than just being
It
rough.
sounded like he was like beating up on her and who knows what else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go to Dr. Seeger's office the next day, and it feels like Dr. Seeger's already onto her because I guess she just, I mean,
No,
misremembers her bird.
she's well, I think for Dr. Seeger, I don't think she's thinking that she's posing as Esther. I think she's looking for signs of, you know, trauma from what happened to her and is trying to figure out what she's been through in order to make sure that she's like mentally healthy.
Yeah.
But any inconsistencies in her memory is a sign of something fucked up happened. So,
Mm, that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's more what it is. Her suspicion comes from like how come you haven't talked about what happened to you? Like, could we learn a little bit more? But Esther's so smart. She plays that therapist and she's like, Mommy and Daddy keep asking me what happened, and I don't think they have. She's like, but I'm not ready to talk about it. So she's like delaying that conversation of, what she went through.
So if Dr. Seeger isn't necessarily suspicious, this detective is.
Hmm.
It's because when they leave the office, he's just very conspicuously just there across the street taking
Oh,
photos of them.
he fucking knows that that mom is up to some shit. Like he probably thinks that she hired Esther to pretend to be their daughter. That's what I would think if I
Something.
were him, because he's on to them for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, the idea, and look, I'm not gonna say that who knows, maybe happened, but like the idea of some rich little white girl getting kidnapped and made like a fucking sex slave out in some foreign
Hmm.
country, like is really everything, every fucking QAnon bullshit conspiracy and how people think sex trafficking works or
Yeah.
child trafficking works,
It's like
um,
every white woman's fear is for that to
right.
happen to their daughter
Oh my
because they
God.
heard it happened once or
Yeah.
twice or however many times.
It's wild, some of the stuff, even probably shared by family members sometimes, um, of the like stuff that's like either just deep in it or QAnon adjacent, where it's just
Mm.
like, oh, I found this, you know, I found this leaf on my windshield and it wasn't there when I left the parking lot and now it's there. And it turns out that, a leaf means that they're tracing our car. It means that like someone's like,
Hmm.
targeted us or whatever. Like there's some wild, dumb bullshit. People are like, because lonely, confused, uneducated people, that
Hmm.
maybe have experienced real trauma and that fucks them up too.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
to that sort of stuff, right? But
But
the detective knows that's not fucking real. This is very unlikely that this happened. So why is this child randomly back here, dressed like,
mhm.
like fucking Gunner says, dressed like Lizzie Borden,
Yeah.
um, who I found out I share a birthday with, by the way.
Oh, how
Um,
fun.
yeah. So the look at Lizzie Borden's birthday and then make sure to send
No-
me a fun note that day. So but the detective knows. He's like, this is weird. She's back. I mean, I don't know. People pick up accents, but
It
I don't
can.
know. It can
Kids can.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Dr. Seeger's like, hey, it's a very, kids are still developing up until,
Hmm.
gosh, really like their early 20s. The
Yeah.
brain's still developing. So I get it, but the
Especially
cops,
speech development too.
yeah. So the cops
Hmm.
just like, I don't know, this is still kind of horse shit. So I'm gonna stand here, just obviously taking pictures of you.
Oh, he didn't
I'm
give a
not saying
shit.
he is not a great detective, but at
Mm-mm.
least, all right. But hey, he's got a hunch, and he was very right about his hunch.
Hmm.
So back home, dad's like, hey, I'm into art. You into art? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, let me take you to my studio. Because it's always got to be just some sad sack fucking dad with like an art studio.
Yeah. Well, one of the most fun things about Esther is like sweet things that a dad would want to like do with his daughter, share with his daughter. Like he's like, "Oh, like you like art. Like let's paint together. Cutesy, like how fun." And she's like, "Is he asking me on a date?" Like her the way that her mind works is so fucking fun to me. I just I love how delusional she is. It's it's really fun to watch. And because Isabel Furman now is a woman playing a woman who's playing a child, her the way that she smiles and the way that like she touches his hand and things like that it's so fun to watch her act that way.
We see his art studio, and I this is where she gets her like blacklight art thing is from
That
this.
no one discovered.
So this is who we have to blame for this. Because right, it shows up in the first movie, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
at
the
the end, like
giant
that.
naked mural, the naked couple
Ah,
on the wall
yeah.
that nobody noticed?
Is it like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it might work that way. I don't know. I'm not a blacklight artist, so I don't know if it's absolutely invisible and then with the light on, it's all the different colors and this and this and this. I don't know.
I guess that specific type of paint, yes.
I guess so. Um, so he's like, "Hey, here's all my paintings.
Hmm.
Of
His
course, a little
claim to
kind
fame.
of, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, like, oh, I like the idea of something that looks one way, but you find out it's really something else.
Yeah.
You're like, you mean like a 8-year-old girl that might be a 31-year-old serial killer? Like
She's
that,
like, you into that?
Yeah. He's like, I will tell you what I'm into. And check out my conspiracy board I've got here. Um, she's like, oh man, you weren't supposed to see that. I thought I was going to take that down, because, crime solved and everything. But Esther also notices a newspaper clipping showing a picture of the detective. So she's like, okay, that's the fucker that's trying to track me. I'm gonna keep a note of this. But then the dad's just like, don't even worry about that. Come over here, draw me, like one of your French girls, you know? Um, I just, like with,
Doesn't she say, let me
yeah,
draw
I think so too.
you? Yeah. You just wanted to say that joke.
Yeah, and he's like, "How should I pose?" And like, right, isn't she like, "I want you to look how you looked when you thought I was gone," or something like that, something fucked up like that. And he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah. Like,
I
looks
don't really want to
sad.
be back there. I'm good, you know." And he looks pretty perturbed, and she's just like, "Ooh, yeah, okay, I like that look, that confused, kind of sad look. I
Yeah.
like that. I'll draw that. That gets me
Yeah.
off." And she does a pretty good job. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't deny she's a talented artist and a great piano player for as wackadoodle as everything else she does is.
Be like, look, we know we kidnapped this kid. We know we, you know, held her in some gulag or somewhere out in whoever the fuck knows where, but we did teach her to play piano really well. She had the best piano
Yeah.
teacher. Um, Trisha though is on to her. We don't know why, but
Oh
Trisha's
yeah.
on to her.
Yeah. Hmm. They do a great job of making you think that she's on to her because she's suspicious that maybe it's not really Esther when in reality, she knows that's not Esther.
100% knows. She's already beyond that.
Yeah.
So
Imagine though, like I wouldn't be able to sleep in my own home. Like this woman, Trisha is psychotic, like that she is able to just live her life and pretend that this is her child.
now I don't know if she thinks she's an adult yet.
No, no, I don't
So
think
I
she
think it would
does.
be just some child. But then you're like, why is this child
Yeah.
playing along with this? But then maybe, who knows? Maybe the child's so
Yeah.
fucked up that they're like, no, I need to play along with this because I need a home, please. So
Hmm. Yeah, and that home, absolutely. I pretend to be their fucking
yeah, put
child.
me in pigtails and tie a ribbon around my neck. Fucking I'll tell you
Yeah,
I'm Esther all day. Get to live in that house?
absolutely.
100%. Get a little bit of that inheritance? 100%. So
You're like, get that beautiful
right?
piano.
So they're at dinner, and this detective arrives again randomly to their house and says, really love to learn a little bit more about what happened to Esther. And I agree. They're like, hey, can this wait till like tomorrow or the next day?
Yeah, why are
Why are
you
you at
at
dinner right now
dinner?
doing this? Like,
Yeah.
again, not even trying to hide the fact that he's like really like just right in front of her, being like,
Hmm.
yeah, oh, this is a little weird to me. I just want to learn a little
Yeah.
bit more.
He's like, you don't think this is a little
Yeah.
fucked up?
So dude, Esther's fucking pissed. She's like, I'm gonna fucking have to
Hmm.
handle this guy. Um,
Son of a
so,
bitch.
or at least she's just like, dude, you're gonna ruin this for me. I thought I'd at least get to lay low for a little bit.
Hmm.
So that night, she's packing all of like, she stole a shit ton of money. Saw she was stealing like jewelry,
Hmm.
watches, things like that, putting in her bag.
Hmm.
She's ready to go, but uh, the siren song that just keeps calling her back. He's just middle-aged dad with an art studio, hot
Hot
daddy with an
daddy.
art studio,
Yep.
and she's like,
Hmm.
fuck, I really want to try to get with him and see if this can be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, I just need to try to
As
pursue this.
unhinged as that sounds, she's like, no, that's gonna bring me back. I want to try this out.
Yeah. Just like, just go for it. Go for your dreams,
So
girl.
she confides in her random new rat friend that lives in the house that, hey,
Aw, her little
things are
rat
gonna be
friend.
okay. I think I'm gonna try this out for a little bit longer after all. So next day, you've got Trisha and Alan who are leaving for a charity event. You have a little bit of a repeat of the scene in the first movie where the adults are starting to have sex, but Esther's like clearly spying on them, being a
Hmm.
weirdo, and then
Hmm.
rips Trisha's dress. So because she's
Yeah.
pissed, right? Um,
She had the sexy dress and then she ended up wearing that dress that looked like a funeral
yeah.
dress.
So they leave, leaving both Gunnar and Esther alone at home. She's like, "What are we gonna do?"
Hmm.
Gunnar's like, "Fuck you," you know, which I'm like, I mean, now we know why he's so mean to her.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know who the fuck you
Yeah.
are. I would love to see all the conversations between the mom and the
Yeah.
son before they discover Esther, because clearly they were probably like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And it's like we can't
And she was like, you need to act normal.
be cool, kid. And like he clearly does not have the ability to act
Hmm.
normal, or unless his baseline normal is
No.
piece of shit, which might be.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
So Gunnar's like, fuck you, you do whatever the fuck you want. I'm having friends over, so they, to drink, smoke, party, what have you. And this fucking
Hmm.
detective keeps nosing around and says like, "Oh yeah, I'm just here. Are your parents around?" Gunner's like, "Nah, dude, get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "Well, I smell some fucking weed. You sure you want to be cool and you know let me do
Hmm.
what I need to do here?" Um, and he's just like, "Fine." He lets him use the bathroom real quick, but of course the detective goes right
Yeah,
into Esther's room, and
that's fucked
yeah,
up.
and I don't know.
I mean, he's not
I
wrong,
feel of
but
all the things you could grab, I feel like the tiny little record, that's on that like toy record player. He grabs that because he wants to lift a print off it. But like he goes
not
past like the
smart.
brush and like some other things
Yep.
like I get it. There's probably multiple prints on
Hmm.
there, but he also has no idea that Esther was touching that record specifically. So I would think
And
Grab
also,
a few
like,
things.
what is she manhandling? She's like manhandling the record. Like, shouldn't you not be holding the record by like where, like, you're not holding it like you're sandwiching your hand around it. Like, you'd hold it around like the sides of
100%.
it,
She is a
right?
child, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, but she's not a
yeah.
child. So he should have went for the hairbrush because if the fingerprints didn't work, maybe they could have done some DNA,
100%. Yeah, or the hair
you
or
know?
something.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
he grabs the record, puts it in his little evidence baggy sleeve, takes off. Esther sees this and she's like, oh, fuck.
Oof.
Buddy, you just punched your fucking ticket for death, buddy. Sorry, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna
Yeah.
happen. Um, so what she does is she runs a shower. Her parents are coming home at this point, but runs a shower,
Mm-hmm.
leaves, doesn't really buy her that much time, really.
No.
And goes and I don't know how she gets there, but follows this detective home to his house.
I'm assuming she drove. They probably have multiple
Yeah, I guess
cars.
so. But
Yeah.
he the detective at his home pours himself a nice drink. Nice always have a little bit of a nice cocktail for yourself before you get stabbed to death and shot in the face. But clearly he finds that like, hey, the fingerprints that we had on file for Esther are not the ones that we find on this record. Again, don't know if that would hold up in court exactly because anyone's fingerprints could be on that. And I don't know how long it would take for them
Yeah.
to find out that they're the prints of Lena, whatever Lena's last name is, right,
Hmm.
from Estonia.
And he stole them from the
Yeah,
house.
so there's that too. But as he
So maybe it was just for him to be able to like really investigate. Like he doesn't need that to hold up in court if it just now he knows that
now he's
that's
like, now
not
I got to go
her.
find some like real evidence that'll hold up or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thinking that the rest of the family is not, there's nothing wrong with them, nothing weird going on with the rest of them, right? So
Yeah.
still seeing
Yeah.
them as the potential victims. So gosh, he gets his aha moment for all of half a second, but Esther's right there behind him, just stab, stab, stab,
Hmm.
stab. And then here we fucking go. We're gonna fucking kick this shit right into high gear. Where,
Oh yeah. Now this movie's about to get real good. And honestly, I didn't not enjoy the first half. Like I still did enjoy the first half of
yeah,
this
I did
movie.
think it was still like it
Yeah.
was just kind of a retread of the
Old
first
news.
movie. I think a
Hmm.
little more fun.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and he's like, she's like, fuck, dude, you're not gonna, you of all people are not gonna fucking ruin this for me. She's like, my mother of all people can't even fucking tell. And of course, the detective's like, yes,
Yeah,
she
she
can.
can because she fucking
She
murdered her
knows
daughter.
because Julia Stiles somehow snuck into the house also, is standing behind Esther
Love it.
and fucking pulls out a gun and just shoots the detective dead. A couple times in the chest and one in the fucking head. He is dead.
Can you imagine how shocked Esther must have been?
And she's like, mommy,
Yeah.
ooh, this
This
is
is awkward.
awkward. And then you find out, oh my gosh, yeah, obviously, then Julia Stiles shoots him dead. And then you're like, what the fuck? Why is this happening?
Yeah. Hmm.
So, of course, Esther and Trisha have a talk. I think Trisha divulged way too much to this woman.
Oh my gosh, I know. She didn't have to tell Esther that that Gunnar accidentally murdered the real Esther. She could have just said, "Our child's been missing. You fucking showed up, and my husband has been normal again. So guess what? You're gonna fucking play your part, and I'm gonna let you live in my house." That's all she had to
Yep.
say. But this twist just it's so unexpected and so smart to like change this movie completely, like flip it. And it's so
I
camp.
love it.
It's so campy. Yeah, it's so, so good. This conversation that they have is so good. Julia Stiles, this might be her best
I think
performance
so too.
ever.
I mean,
Yeah,
yes. Yes, I agree.
yeah, I think so. I haven't watched everything she's been in, but I've seen her major roles.
So this big twist is that Esther's not missing. Trisha knows this. Esther's dead because
Mhm. She's
because
dead as
Gunnar
fuck.
fucking killed her. And
Hmm.
this is it reminds me a little bit, I could be wrong and be getting the 90s kid wrong, but kind of like the John Benet
JonBenet
Ramsey,
Ramsey.
right? Where
Hmm.
there's that rumor, right? Pretty strong rumor that maybe
Hmm.
something happened. They accidentally killed the kid and they're trying to cover it up to protect like the brother or
Hmm.
something. But very much like this.
I still to this day think that that brother killed that little girl. It's the only reason why parents would lie to cops. The only thing that would make you lie to cops about your child's death and not figure out who did it is if your other fucking child did it. That's my conspiracy theory. This isn't a true crime podcast, but look at
I like
Trisha
that. I mean, that's
covering
what she
shit
says.
up.
She's like, ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm a mother. I am going to protect this
Hmm.
family, and
Yep.
I can't stand to lose both of my children, even if one
Yeah.
is a fucking unhinged sociopath.
Fucking weird incel bitch ass
Yeah.
punk.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And then also too, like, I don't know if Esther needs to say like immediately, like, yeah, I'm an adult woman and I've been killing people for a while. Um,
Yeah. She could have just
I'm
said,
still a
like,
child.
I just need a home. Yeah. I had a fucked up childhood and I would like to stay
He was
someplace safe.
obsessive. He was taking pictures of me across the street. He abducted me and tried to attack me, and
Hmm.
I attacked him back.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Ugh,
Yeah. But it's more interesting this way that they just divulge everything.
100%. So, and again, Trisha's like, hey, look, ultimately, like, I still love Alan, and Alan was a changed man after fucking Esther disappeared. Like disappearing and like knowing that your child's dead, that's sometimes a completely different thing, right? And how you like process that.
Hmm.
Like you don't get any
Hmm.
closure if they're just missing, you know?
No, the processing I would think just is a cycle,
Yeah, and like turns
never
people to
ending.
some weird shit. Sometimes it's
Hmm.
yeah, deep psychological trauma. Sometimes it comes out as I guess I'm a
Hmm.
black light painter now. Like people have weird ways to process weird
I
shit.
was gonna say
Yeah.
addiction. I don't know. It's like black light painter.
So they're like, so here's the deal. We're gonna be cool and we're gonna cohabitate with me knowing who you are and you knowing me and what I did. We're gonna wrap up and
Hmm.
dump this body together, which I think in the same place
Yep.
they dumped the real Lester. Fucking
Yeah, which wasn't smart either because like if she really wanted to like fuck her over, like she could just like, I know where your dead daughter
yeah.
is. Like I may be committing fraud, but you like you
I did
killed
think it was
someone.
funny when Esther says like, oh, is this where Esther was buried? And then Julie Stiles like fucking grabs her by the throat
Mhm.
and says like, don't you dare say her name. And then she's like, well, it's my name now.
That's
So I
my
don't
name.
I
Yeah.
can't really do that. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's but this is fun. I love all of this. Um
Yeah.
they come home. Trisha has a talk with Gunner.
Yeah.
And
Love
Gunner's
it.
like, okay, fuck that. Okay, because what the fuck? He was like,
Yeah. He's like, this
this
makes a
makes a
lot of
lot more
sense now.
sense than before. And then, of course, like all this is explaining a little bit of the behaviors from all of them, except for the dad, right? They were all very
Yes. Yes.
standoffish and
So
weird
it
and
starts,
suspicious. The dad
yeah.
is very trusting. And then now we know why. So
Hmm.
Gunner's like, can we just fucking kill this bitch all over again? You know?
Yeah. He's like, I already killed one. Might
And
as
Trisha's
well.
like, yeah. Like, so basically you find out that, well, Trisha's real plan is while she says to Esther, like, we're going to cohabitate and make this work, really,
Yeah.
Trisha's like, eventually I'm going to have
Eventually.
to fucking take you out of the picture because we're not, this
This
is
is
weird and we're
weird.
not keeping this together. And now you
Hmm.
know our secret. Not that they necessarily think that
Hmm.
anyone would believe her if she like went to anybody about it, but
Hmm.
so we'll 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 get there when the timing is right, Trisha says to Gunner.
Yes.
So again, she talks to Esther being like, All right. Well, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to do this right. So already, Dr. Seeger
Hmm.
thinks you're fucking all over the place because you can't recognize fucking parents and macaws. You fucking idiot.
What does she say? She says,
All are one, and one is not all
every
of the other, and I don't know.
every macaw is a parrot,
But
but not every parrot is a fucking macaw, I
let's
think
just
is what
it's a
she
fucking
says.
macaw.
Yeah. She's like, fucking duh. Everyone knows that.
Sorry, I don't have my fucking copy of Zoo News. I'm sorry. I can that I remember all
Yeah.
of that. My apologies. I wouldn't know that. Would you
Yeah.
know that?
No, but I mean, given her parrot or her macaw, whatever the
Huh.
fuck it was, this bird was a big blue bird and now it's a green bird. So, like, she should know the difference visually between the two
It's been four
birds.
years and it's, allegedly traumatized. Yeah, I
Trauma.
don't know. Just
Yeah.
blame it all on trauma,
Yeah.
like most horror movies do. So
Exactly. Yeah.
they're like, hey, we gotta ham this the fuck up for everybody. We're gonna paint a
Mhm.
happy story. Everyone, you need to do the things. Pink is your favorite color. We're gonna dress you up. We're gonna work on all of our background stories. You can be like, oh yeah, it was like this one very specific time where this specific thing happened. Don't you remember? And the dad's like, yeah, wow, you do, I do. And Dr. Seeger's like, oh
Mhm.
fuck, look at me. Problem solved.
I'm the
I
best
am the best
therapist.
therapist. I took what was a
She's
fucked
like,
up situation and kind of solved it in like 2 days.
yeah. She literally like records herself saying like, this kid's gonna be okay. Everything's all right. I do have to say though, this scene where Trisha buys all the new
Mhm.
clothes and is going over all the things with Esther playing the part, again, really makes you wonder what real Esther's life was like because it seems like she probably would have done all of these same things with her own child of like, your favorite color is pink, so you're going to make that like your signature color and everyone's going to know it. And whatever talent you have, just like Gunnar with his fencing, whatever talent you have, we're going to take that and make that like your little pony trick at, parties. And I think it's this fun dynamic of like you see this Esther, Lena Esther, being tortured by this fake mom who is having her put on a show and do all these things. But really, the dead Esther probably had to do a lot of the same fucking shit at these like benefit parties and, just talking to people. And I bet you know, it was exhausting. So I just think it's so so fun. And she's like helping her like, bind her breasts and everything, like getting her dressed. I just think this whole segment is so so good and it had different levels for me on this watch than it did on the first watch because I kept thinking back to like, okay, Julia Stiles is almost, I mean, she's almost as bad as Lena. She's just more, you know, what's the word? She knows what she's doing, even though she's a complete
Yeah.
sociopath.
She seems to
Yeah.
think ahead a little bit more and try to plot out a bit more, you know.
Yes. She's got long-term goals for everything that she's doing, whereas Esther is very much in the moment survival mode, going off of a feeling.
So since this discovery, we have our first conversation with between Gunner and Esther, and Gunner is just like, "Fuck you. I don't even know who the fuck you are." Um, again,
Yeah.
very fucking incel MAGA vibes, when he's like, "This is America. People
Yeah.
like
He's
me matter. People like me matter.
yeah.
Not some
Yeah.
crazy, convict immigrant like
Yeah.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah." And I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, fucking Donald Trump Jr. Okay,
Yeah.
fucking
Seriously, they do such a good job at making you hate him. Like just straight up hate him because Julia Stiles, like you want to hate her, but she's so fun
yeah.
that it makes you still like her. But Gunner, you're just like, oh, I can't wait to see her fucking kill him.
And you also have Trisha, It feels weird to say, really cock blocking Esther here, who's trying to mac on the dad,
Yes.
which, of course, is then starting to frustrate Esther. Um, Trisha knows that, like, hey, can you please fucking divert your attention away from my fucking husband? And then
hmm
taunts her and gloats like, I'm gonna go fuck my husband. How's that fucking sound, you little kid?
It's
Oh my God.
that is one of my favorite lines that she says. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go fuck my husband.
It's like Mr. Green at the end of Clue. I'm gonna go sleep with my wife. But I it's funny because like I wonder, well, no, she was always gonna try and mac on the dad, but like you think
For
for a
sure.
minute here, or at least I thought for a minute here, like I think Esther would have been like, okay, I'll go along with this plan, but stop trying to
No,
like poison
she would
me
have
and
worded
stop
it.
trying to, yeah, I think she inevitably would, right? And they couldn't trust her.
She would have tried to fuck the dad at some
Yeah.
point, and the mom and the brother would have gotten in the way. She probably would have ended up murdering the two of them had her plans worked so that she could have Alan, but then she would have revealed herself as a woman instead of as his missing child, and he would have been like, "What the fuck?" So I don't, it wouldn't have worked out either way, I think,
And
for her.
I
But
And I
she's
don't
trying.
blame her for not liking Trisha's cooking because we find out that Trisha is starting pretty quick and is beginning to slowly poison her.
She just said you're going to sleep well tonight. So I think that was so that she could sleep, knowing that she's knocked the fuck out on pills.
Well, but you see, the
I think those are
she
sleeping
takes
pills.
the food and leaves it for the rat, and then the rat's dead.
Because the rat is a rat. She gave her a human-sized helping of sleeping pills. She says you're going to sleep
Oh,
well tonight
I thought it was
out
more
loud.
like,
No, she's not trying to kill her
hmm,
yet.
okay,
I think it was more protection for her in the night to not be killed.
got it. So is her plan?
That's what I thought was happening because the rat ate that fucking rat was hungry as hell because he ate that whole bowl of mac and cheese with hot
Yeah.
dogs, which also like, oh man, I've had that meal as a child and I just love that she's like, it's Esther's favorite after making that beautiful dinner.
I love that.
It's so good. It's so petty.
So this obviously sets Esther the fuck off.
Ooh, her little rat
Oh,
friend.
she's like, I'm a fuck. So
R.I.P.
she's like, you know what? I'm gonna cook you all a meal. How's this sound? So the next morning, it
Yeah.
looks like outside of the smoothie thing, she seems like she's a good cook, Like she makes breakfast for everybody.
Oh, that looked I would have fucking got down on that breakfast. If I die eating it because she poisoned it, I die happy. That looked like a fucking lit brunch.
You just be polite. You eat around the rat tail, you know. Um,
Just,
oh, but that smoothie. She's like, I'm not
oh,
little rat friend. I'm not gonna let you die in vain. I'm gonna let your death serve a purpose, and it's gonna be a
mm-hmm.
pretty fucking awesome comeback. And oh, of course, like Julie Stiles is like, no, I'm not gonna eat that food because now I think you poisoned it.
Uh-huh.
And then Esther's like, I'm playing fucking chess while you're playing checkers. I knew you were gonna turn the food away and you want a smoothie and said, I
Mm-hmm.
already made you one. Come on, have some. Try it out. And of course the
Yeah.
dad's like,
Yeah.
have some. And of course the dad being like, sip of the fucking smoothie. Like this child made it. Come on.
Yeah, like if Phil made me breakfast, even if it looked absolutely horrendous, like Andy's breakfast and Child's Play, I would eat that shit with a smile on my face because he made me breakfast and pretend that I liked every single bite.
Even if there's a rat in it.
Not if there's a rat in it. I'd be pretty upset. But I love the tension of this situation. And I kind of wish she would have taken like two sips of it just to get a little bit more rat juice in her
Yeah.
mouth. But it's pretty good. Like even just one sip, like that would have me fucking
Oh
gagging for
yeah. She
sure.
pours it out and it's just the whole rat. Uh,
Oh.
but she puts down the disposal, which I'm just like, don't do that. And also, that's not how that
She didn't
works.
even push it in
Yeah.
either. Yeah, like it just kind of
Spins
like
around and sucks in.
like
Yeah.
down, just kind of spinned around. Like yeah, it was like I feel like there would have been blood like if she didn't turn the sink on and just push it
Oh,
in
that
there.
was that
Ugh.
was
Just bones crunching.
Little
Ooh.
rat bones, little biscuit bones.
God, it's so yeah, that was a fucking gross
Yeah,
good
that was a
idea.
fun one. So now
Hmm.
they clearly like they're back at odds again. This partnership lasted all of
Oh
like
yeah.
20 minutes.
A
Yeah,
day.
right.
Yeah.
So so the
20
dad's like,
minutes.
"Hey, I've got some art business meeting that I need to go to. So can you all take me to the train station so I can leave and do this?" And you have this part pretty quick. It's basically just dropping him off. Now he does make an offer to Esther, like, "Hey, I'm going to be talking to this guy, and I'm going to show him some of your work and see if like we can get you into one of those schools." And she's stoked about that, but
Hmm.
really she's not thinking more than like an hour ahead of time at any
Yeah,
given moment, right? So she's like, "Yeah,
exactly.
daddy, love you. All
Yeah.
right. Let me grab
Yeah.
this art, this like poster tube." And I did like her walking up the platform behind him and just being like, "Ooh, I could just push these two fuckers just right in the train." I I like how,
Yeah.
and again, that difference of like they're both fucking crazy, but Julia Stiles, like we were talking about, just plans a little bit more. Whereas like Esther, like I think if
Yep.
she had succeeded, she would have just pushed them both on the fucking track and been like, "Oh no, that happened."
Um, yeah, she would have been like, they both tripped. Oh my goodness. And the dad wouldn't have suspected her because he thinks it's his
Yeah.
daughter. D the first time that you watched this, did you think she was going to be successful with at least pushing one of
No, I
them?
would have hoped so, but I didn't think they were gonna get them that quickly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's a good
yeah,
fake out
every
though.
time now I'm like sitting at like the train station here. Um, I think about this movie sometimes. Mostly I think about Drag Me to Hell and thinking like, oh my God, some
Yeah.
some poor woman's gonna fall in
It's
there and
good.
just get dragged into some fiery fucking inferno. So I look for it, but luckily it has not happened yet, at least when I'm around. So
Yet.
the dad just comes up, he's like, "Oh shucks, all right, well, missed all of that. Good to see you all.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Back on my going on my little art trip. Goodbye."
Yeah. I just love all the chaos that's going around this fucking stupid
Yeah,
guy.
and he's just fucking Mr. Magooing his way just through it to being like, I don't know. It's so good.
Yes.
Um, so he leaves, and then Julia Stiles like turns over immediately, and she's like, how dare you fucking try to kill me, motherfucker? I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
kill you.
She's like, yeah, you're
You're
fucking
done."
done.
And then Esther is able to escape. She grabs some mace and sprays Gunner in the face. "Fuck you, Gunner. You deserve it."
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, he deserves everything that's
fucking
coming to him.
bails, takes the car, and drives off.
Hmm.
This next scene, oh, I would have loved it so much if it were a little bit longer.
I agree. It needed to be a little longer.
I needed to play at least like the first minute or and a half of that Maniac song. With that
Uh-huh.
playing, with her, the sunglasses, the lipstick, and the cigarette just driving down, I was like, "This is
Uh,
cool. I really like this."
yeah, when I first saw this movie, I was like, oh, it's a little over the top. This watch, I really enjoyed it, especially because I was trying to get inside Esther's head of what she would want to do with freedom. And I'm like, she just wants to be a fucking woman. Like, she immediately reached for that lipstick and the sunglasses and just kind of like fluffing her hair out, And I was like, yeah, that is a good feeling. Like, just driving to a car about being like a song about being a maniac. But that was like such a fun choice. Yeah, I do wish it would have lasted a little longer too.
Trisha, calls the police and reports the car being stolen and Esther taking it. So
Mhm.
the police do arrive, pull Esther over, and return her to Trisha and Gunnar back at home. Again, just kind of planting those seeds, when Trisha's talking with the police officer, she's like, "Oh, thanks for bringing her back." Um, Also, by the way, she's just been displaying these weird self-harm tendencies and violent
Yeah.
outbursts. I hope she doesn't slit her wrists. I don't know.
Yeah. She's like, who knows what could happen? Maybe even
Yeah.
tonight.
And again, like, and exactly that. She goes inside, goes to Gunner, and she's like, "Yeah, we're taking care of this fucking right the fuck now. No one's
Yeah.
pushing me in front of a fucking
Smart.
train, god damn it."
Yeah. It's smart,
So
really.
once the cops leave, they immediately go up to Esther's room, Gunner grabs her, holds her. Trisha pulls out a blade and is like, I'm just gonna fucking just slit your wrists right now.
Mhm.
No one's gonna like, yeah, Alan's gonna be sad for a
She's
minute,
like, Alan will
but
get
he'll
over
get
it.
over it because at least he'll have some closure. I don't know. I don't know if Alan could get over that. If your daughter goes missing for 4 years and comes back traumatized in some, held captive in some country, brought back,
And you have no idea
no
what
idea
happened
what
to her.
happened to her. So you're never going to get any clarity about that. And then 2.5 days in, she slits her wrist and kills herself.
Mhm. A day that you decided to not take her on a trip with
Yes.
you?
I'm like, I don't know how he's going to get over that. It's going to take, I don't know
No.
how long.
Because Trisha is a fucking
Yeah.
sociopath. So she is like, she managed to get past her daughter's
Yeah.
death to keep things logistically moving and, seemingly have this perfect family. So I think in her head, she's like, he just needs the closure. Like, that's all. Like, and then everything will be fine. Like, she's not, her logical thought is very absent.
100%. Oh,
Yeah.
geez. So she is able to break free right before they start trying to cut into her wrists.
Hmm.
She runs. Gunner is able to catch up with her, and then throws her down the stairs.
Which looked all too familiar for him. He looked like he was having a little
Exactly,
PTSD.
right? And I don't know if that's what
Hmm.
happened to the first Esther because
It's kind of
because
implied.
when Trisha catches up, he gives this, I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. Like almost like he was like
Yeah.
snapped back into that moment
Yes.
when that happened.
Absolutely.
And again, that
Yes.
PTSD with him.
Yeah.
And it's just wild
Hmm.
to, gosh, like I guess I get it why like a desperate mother would try to do that to protect her child, but then you think of like all just the psychological ramifications it has. No matter how fucked up of an asshole um he is, it's you're seeing like,
Hmm.
wow, how much this even kind of hurts him. You almost kind of feel for him for just a second, even though you're like, no, you're still crazy and you still deserve
Well,
everything you're getting, but
he's well, and I think
still a
that's
child.
one of the interesting things. Yeah, one of the interesting things about Gunner, because this would have happened 4 years ago. So he would have been
12.
what, probably 13, we'll say 12 or 13. And so I think what's so interesting about this little piece here of this, what feels like a flashback, essentially, without having to do a flashback, which I think is also a really good creative choice by this movie because they give you some insight into what happened without doing an actual flashback and showing you this random little girl and all that
Yep.
bullshit. And Trisha, as a mother, decided to make the wrong decision because even if Gunnar was being rough with his sister, which she should have had them fucking in therapy, have had addressed all of that, but we're past that at this point. She made the decision to not report it as an accident and to have a secret with her son and to let him get away with literal murder and turn him into a monster and let herself become a monster as well, more of a monster because she made that decision. Like, I joke around about, would you turn in your kid? But like that could be played as an accident. She could say it wasn't your fault. You were playing too rough. Like, put his ass in therapy for the rest of his life and explain to the cops whatever narrative you want to give them to make your child seem innocent because he wouldn't have gone to jail.
I mean,
So,
maybe if, but not.
not as a 12-year-old. If she said like they were roughhousing, like, or like running around, playing tag, whatever bullshit she wants to say, and she tripped when he went to like tag her,
God, and at
you know?
least it would just again give some closure for the dad.
Yes. The whole situation would have been fine. I think, I mean, as fine
Yeah.
as it could be considering the circumstances. As fine
Fine's
as it
relative.
could be, she chose to make things way worse. Like getting rid of a body with him or without him, we don't know. I'm assuming she did it on her
Yeah.
own, but when you think about the age that Gunnar would have been, like he had no way of making a logical decision. He's gonna do whatever the fuck his mom says.
So the fucking narc police also call Alan and say, "Hey, by the way,
don't be spilling the
Like, you already
beans.
talked to one of the adults. Like, you're good. Don't call my husband.
Yeah, I'll tell my husband. She's like, snitches get
Oh
fucking
yeah.
stitches. I already killed your
I
fucking
think if she made out
detective.
of this alive, she'd be going straight for them afterwards, being like, "You,
Yeah, that
yep."
lady cop.
So,
Yep, she would have been dead.
so Alan calls and he's like, "Hey, so I should come home." And of course, Trisha's like, "Don't worry about it. Like, come on, everything's fine. We got everything under control." And then Alan's like, "Well, I already took the train back, and I'm actually already at the station or running into the station. So come get me." And she's like,
Mhm.
Take a cab." You know,
I like the way she says, "I'm gonna need you to take a cab because I've got my hands full here
she isn't wrong.
with
Yeah.
murder."
Um. Again, really just I think for her, it's so funny. She's such a fun character because yeah, she just doubles down, turns to Gunner, and she's like, You know what? Fucking this whole fucking shit's on you. You finish it. Go find her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like, "Go get her," which again, another poor decision because she's scrappy, she's smart, she's made it this far, so don't sell her short. There's weapons all over this house.
Also, a crossbow I forgot to mention, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah, a crossbow, fencing swords, just kitchen knives. Like there's so many things you could use.
Gunner's like, hey, there's a lot of weapons here, but you know what? I'm gonna go with what I'm the most comfortable with. I'm gonna grab this fencing sword, make sure the little tip is off, so I'm just in
Hmm.
here just stabbing mode. Um,
Hmm.
Goes to I think the art studio is where Esther's at.
Hmm.
And he doesn't fucking put up much of a fight. He's like saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill the shit out of you." She's like, "Guess what? Lest you fucking forget." There was a scene earlier, literally this 2-second scene of Gunnar being like, here's a crossbow and here's how to use it, showing it to his dad.
Hmm.
Just so you
Dad.
know that there is a crossbow in the house somewhere. That's like literally the only reason that scene
Yes.
exists. And Esther has
Hmm.
it and shoots him right in the fucking chest, then fucking grabs his fencing sword, gets on his chest, stab, 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 stab. And Gunnar
Oof.
is fucking dead. Deservedly,
I
unfortunately.
love her. I love her rapid stabbing, like
Yeah.
how passionate it is when she kills someone. Like she wants them dead so badly, she's just going for it.
Trisha finds the body, of course, is upset, right?
That was her trigger. That's where she snaps, and now she's starting to get more irrational.
Yeah. So a fight ensues. Also, another reference from earlier in the movie when the parents are both coming back from that gala that they were out, when the detective was there in the back, taking the record, you know,
Hmm.
they were saying like, something along the lines of like, well, hope they didn't burn the house down. And then Julie Stiles
Oh
is like,
yeah.
Gunner wouldn't do that. And then the dad's like, wasn't talking about Gunner. Because as Esther and Trisha are fighting, a fire
Hmm.
breaks out in the
Yeah,
house,
that's
and the
funny.
fire does burn the house down.
Yeah.
So
Quickly that thing goes up into flames. Jesus.
very quickly.
Yeah.
So Trisha chases her upstairs through Esther's room. Esther goes out the window. She follows through the window, and is basically like, I'm gonna kill the shit out of you. Ultimately, I'm just gonna say, you're a fucking adult and you snapped and you killed my son,
Hmm.
and I did the only thing I could do for self-defense. So fuck you. You have nothing, right? And Esther, I think, kind of knows this and it's like, I just need to get the fuck out of here somehow, but escapes out, gets on the roof. I don't think it was a good idea for Trisha to go after her. I would just go lock all the windows.
Yeah, let her burn on the roof. She couldn't
Yeah,
jump down. It's too high. You're right.
something.
But see, that's the thing. She was completely in rage mode. Like she just killed her son. So she's like,
Yeah.
I need to fucking kill you even if it means I might die.
Alan rolls up with the cab and's like, the fuck?
Maybe call a firefighter, cab driver.
Yeah.
Just one
And
firefighter.
yeah, call the firefighter, the cute one. And I'm gonna go run up and see what the fuck is going on because the house is on fire. So Alan arrives and finds them both, well, they were fighting on the roof and
Hmm.
somehow they slip and now they're both hanging off the side of the roof. Alan comes up through the window, sees them both hanging there. Um, Esther's like, Daddy, please help me. Trisha's like, this is a grown ass woman. Do not listen to her.
I love I love that she's like, you need to know this shit right now.
Yeah.
That is a grown-ass woman. Smart.
And
Smart
yeah,
attempt.
Alan's like, this is a lot for me to process right now. So I'm gonna try and help you both, but even before he's able to get to them, um, Trisha's grip slips and she falls. And I
Oh, so good.
love the shot of her falling and just boom, right where she hits her head and the
It's
blood
like just
splatters.
a pop. Like she like kind of pops like a little grape. And the
Yeah.
sound, like the subtle, like,
Mm,
because it sounds like it's from far away. Like they don't go close in. And
chef's
that
kiss.
sound, it's a real good kill. It's real good.
It's great.
Yeah, it looks good. It sounds good. It's very surprising. It's a really great kill.
Trisha's dead. Falls in like the absolute worst way you could fall off that house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. So, gosh, 'cause I think if you'd even just fall straight down, yeah, maybe you break your legs. But,
Hmm.
ooh, so she's dead. Goodbye, Julia
Yep.
Stiles. So Alan, who's like, oh fuck, and doesn't know where Gunner is either,
Mm-mm.
um, pulls Esther up, and while he's trying to like check for her, make sure she's okay,
Hmm.
her veneers, they've
Her
been
fucking
fake
dentures.
teeth, yeah, covering her fake teeth. Um, I guess veneers are more permanent, huh?
Yeah, they're
So
dentures.
yeah, the dentures start to come off, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then she's like, I did this for us, like this, like last, like, no, I did this for us because I love you, and blah, blah,
Uh-huh.
blah, blah, blah. And he's panicked. He's in shock.
Yeah.
I don't think she necessarily pushes him off the roof, but in his like panic, he slips and falls off the roof, also to
Yeah.
his death.
It almost looked like he was trying to like push her back a little bit, like away from him,
Yeah.
and she like accidentally pushed him
Like tried to
a
reach
little too
back and then,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone in the family is dead. So now officially all the Albrights are dead.
Good. Terrible people.
Well, I don't know about Esther, the original Esther.
Well, I
Jury's
mean,
out. Maybe she does
he,
suck.
yeah, we don't know, but she wasn't a part of this whole ordeal.
The more I think about it, the original Esther really does get the benefit of the doubt, because she's just some dead child. Maybe she sucked too,
Yeah,
and
maybe
just
she was just as
happened.
awful as the rest of them.
See, so there you go.
Yeah. Maybe that
Um,
he was like, wow, my daughter came back much nicer.
Again, because like the nature, I think, of the set piece, and it's definitely it's weird.
It
You use
looks
like no
rough.
CGI for all of this movie, and then when you
Yeah.
do, like, it just looks blurry,
Yeah.
and then like her just being able to just casually just and not be bothered by the smoke inhalation at all, with a
Yeah.
house that's fully engulfed in flames.
That
She's
part
able
didn't bother
to
me because I felt like we were past that point. Like,
a
who
little bit,
cares?
yeah,
Yeah. Like, she could have even been wearing like a gas mask or something, and I would have been for it. Like,
yeah.
something just so stupid. Um, and like she's, taking her sweet ass time doing her hair. She's putting on new ribbons.
Yeah.
Like, I love the silliness and over the topness of all of that.
And just like walks downstairs and right out through the house. It's
Yeah,
like
not even
being
panicked.
not in panic, completely engulfed in flames. She's able to get out just fine. Um, and the police and the fire department, all that arrive.
Hmm.
And we cut to some amount of time later, we don't know,
Yeah.
but we're
She's
with
still wearing
Dr.
the same
Seeger,
clothes.
same clothes.
Hmm.
She is with Dr. Seeger. You would think even after that they would have like been like, we need to take the ribbon off. We need to see like you were just in some like
You
pretty
need to go in an
wild
ambulance.
shit. Yeah. So, but whatever, who cares? Um, so now the interesting part is that to everyone else, she is Esther. and she is Esther, and she
Hmm.
survived this.
Yeah.
And as far as anybody else knows, she's the sole surviving member of this family.
Hmm.
That's your prequel because now she's an orphan.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't an orphan the entire time until right now.
No.
So there you go. That's how you get the name of the whatever.
There you have it.
It's called First Kill, but we didn't see her first kill. It's
What do you
implied
mean?
from earlier with this other family she was living with at the very beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah, the name is not great.
That's okay.
Yeah. We
So
she's killed people before this for sure.
so now of course, she's orphaned. Dr. Seeger's like, hey, I've got a pretty good handle on all of this. Not to toot my own horn, but I found an adoption agency that is going to work with us, and I think we found a family that's going to be able to take her in, which I assume is going to be Vera Farmiga and Peter Sarsgaard.
Mm-hmm.
And just yep, up on to the next family, I guess. Just keep it
Yeah,
rolling.
good for her.
Get those
Find
credits
find
up.
your next daddy.
Yeah, that's Orphan First Kill.
Hmm. They really lean
So
into that black light art again in the credits.
I know. Gosh, it looks like you're in like I probably said the same thing before. It looks like you're in like in a fucking Spencer's in the mall or
Yeah.
some shit.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like not cool. I
Yeah.
don't like it,
It's
but
too much.
it's too much. Um, I don't know. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Hmm,
Good plot walkthrough.
love that. Well, before we get into some boo scores, love to hear some taglines.
All right. This movie has three taglines.
Okay.
Can you guess one of them? It's similar to one of the taglines of the first movie.
Well, the tagline I remember from the first one is like there's something wrong with Esther.
Hmm.
Um, so is it like a play off that?
It is.
What
There's
is it?
always been something wrong with Esther,
Oh, okay.
which I mean we knew. And then there's I'll see you again soon, which I didn't
Okay.
get. Yeah, maybe they're
I don't
teasing
know.
a sequel.
I don't know if she says this or I forget. Maybe it was a line in that song that plays off the record that plays at the end of the movie.
I
You
don't think
know,
so.
I don't think so either. Maybe. I can't remember. But what's the third one?
The third one is my favorite. She will kill to be part of a family. I
That's
should
true.
I it could have been she will kill to be part of this family, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
okay.
that one. So there's your taglines. They went serious. I think they tried not to do anything too campy to reveal anything. This movie feels like the world's best twist secret.
Boo scores. I'm happy to go first.
Ooh, okay.
So again, like I said, show my cards a little bit. As far as prequels for horror films, generally most of them, I'm just really just not a big fan. But
Hmm.
this one is an exception. This is a lot of fun, and earlier off mic before we started recording, you made a really good comp to Smile and Smile 2,
Hmm.
where you have a first movie that fun enough, serviceable,
Yep.
and has like kind of a fun enough conceit,
Yeah.
you
But you're
know.
like, do I need to watch this again? Because it's kind of boring.
It's like, do I need to watch this movie ever again? Not necessarily, but will I entertain a sequel if it comes out? Sure. And just like Smile and Smile 2, the second one takes what's fun and what worked about the original movie and just fucking camps it up
Yep.
and really just takes it all to the next level, really just fucking kicking that overdrive. And
Hmm.
you have a movie that is really fun. I love this just back and forth kind of cat and mouse between Esther and Trisha.
Hmm.
You again, you find yourself rooting for Esther
Yeah.
a lot of this
What a
time now.
shift.
And what a fun way to do that. There is, and I could not find it, but I was listening to another podcast about this movie, and there is some other instance where an adult poses as a long lost child and learns while he's posing as as the child
Hmm.
that the
Was he
child's
an
actually
actual
dead.
child?
Well, no, this person's an adult posing as a child,
Okay.
and then I guess it got found out, right? But learned or swears that
Hmm.
he learned from the family that they killed the child and faked that he was missing. So I
That's
was like,
wild.
that must have been how what they borrowed the
Yeah.
twist from this movie from. And it's wild.
Yeah.
Like I said, just this truth being stranger than fiction is it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
But well, so yeah, I think the performances are really good. I think that, Gunnar does a good job of being an asshole, Baron Trump type. I think that Julia Stiles is just really just I love
Uh,
that she gets a role like this, like what a fun,
yeah.
campy role that
So
she gets to
fun.
play. Yeah, so good for her. And, the guy that plays the dad hits all the notes. He's got to just be a
Hmm.
hot art daddy, and he
Yep.
does
He's
that, I
he
think.
succeeded. Yeah.
Succeeded. And like being like aloof but not dumb, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I
He's
I
just
think they did a good job.
yeah. He's just not in the
And
know.
and then Isabel Furman just being able to just like slide right back into this role and just fucking
Hmm.
kill it. And we talked about like all like the movie wizardry and trickery to
Hmm.
um make it look the way it does. Oh my gosh, I do need to rewatch that scene you were telling me about, that extended take of
It
her escaping,
it's
because
a
that'll be really
delight.
cool to watch now
Yeah.
knowing that.
Yeah. I
Um,
love a single take of just a really long single take of that sort. That's so good.
so you like an OK Go fan or something? They do that a lot.
I know. I
Yeah.
was thinking specifically of the 2018 Halloween. Not like the biggest fan in the world of that movie, but there is a single take of um Michael Myers going into a house, taking a knife and going from house to house to house, and it's all one single take of him killing like several different neighbors, and that is so fun to watch.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I think that one was pretty fun.
Yeah,
But yeah, this movie, I would recommend this to anybody.
yeah,
And the
for
people that I
sure.
have recommended it to that watched it are like, yeah, dude, fuck
Uh-huh.
yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I gave the first movie 2 boos.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give this one 3.5.
I knew you were gonna do 3.5. I guessed it.
Yeah.
Almost so confidently so that I almost wrote it down before you said it, but it's okay.
We've been doing this enough times. You know me pretty well, probably.
Yeah. And you gave Orphan only 2 boos, which I think is low. I gave the first Orphan 3 boos for reference for everybody.
And
Um,
remember, I wanted to do Orphan solely because I wanted to get to this movie.
oh, I absolutely agree. Like it was a fun conversation, absolutely. But did I want to watch that movie again? No. And did I want to watch this movie again? Yes.
Yeah.
So I agree. This movie is a really good time. I would recommend it to other people, and I have recommended it to other people. And again, everyone who's listened to me that watched it was like, "You're fucking right. That movie is a blast," because you really just don't. It really stayed under the radar too, so it's fun to tell people to watch it, and they just have no idea what they're in for. I am a big fan, or I was a big fan. Growing up as a kid, my grandma and I would watch a lot of soap operas together, like daytime soaps. And this encapsulates that and mixes it with my favorite genre of movie. And it's just so bonkers because you think it's going to be a carbon copy with like maybe some other bullshit in this movie, and it ends up just totally just hitting you with a surprise. Then Julia Stiles, just her performance is so good. Like 10 out of 10 would highly recommend. You can tell she knows what movie she's in. She's fucking playing it up. The way that she delivers the most ridiculous lines with such conviction is so good. And I even think the way she interacts with her son and their, exchanges that they have versus the exchanges that Julia Stiles has with the husband, she's like two totally different people as the same character, which is incredible and also kind of scary that the same person she seems to be when she's talking to Esther after the reveal is how she talks to her son as well.
Yeah.
So she's very much emotionally abusive and just wild, and it's so fun. I think they did a good job of keeping the climax of this movie short and just quick and fun because the first one drags out quite a bit and I think it could have been a little bit like tightened up. And it's very psychologically interesting. I brought up all the fun things that I thought about and realized in this watch that I didn't really think about in the first watch of, what was the real Esther's life like? This family dynamic that they have is so unhealthy and it's just really interesting. So, this is a sequel that I didn't think I needed, or a prequel that I didn't think I needed, and I'm so glad that it exists. And if they made another one of these movies, I absolutely would watch it
Yeah.
with a song in my heart. Like, I'd be so excited. And I would watch this movie again too, just with someone too that hasn't seen it yet would be really fun. Maybe I'll make my mom watch it. But I'm gonna give this movie 4 boos. I fucking love it. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
it quickly has risen like into my favorites. So I'm gonna give it 4 generous 4 boos.
Fuck yeah. I love that. I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
thank you.
So, whew, geez. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, I think that was such a that conversation was as fun as this movie. It's just it's so good.
It's wild that Esther had a therapist before she died. Real Esther had a therapist.
Yes.
Not gonna do
At
that
like
for Gunner.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Never.
was good. Gunnar doesn't go to the therapist once.
Nope.
Which makes you think again that Trisha is like, "Oh no, we don't want to reveal him to a therapist because that mind is dark."
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
She's keeping
Wait,
that kid away from the therapist for the shame of
that's
it all.
wild. Oh, geez. Well, fuck. Gosh, I love this movie. I'm gonna watch it again at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Any parting words of wisdom? Yeah. I don't know. No, I don't
Don't
know. Yeah, everything just seems pretty cool here.
yeah, don't just, keep up appearances.
Of appearances. All right. Take care, Natalie, and take care, everybody. Three, two, one, ghost.
Thanks for listening to our episode on Orphan First Kill. If you enjoyed this episode, you could subscribe to our podcast and leave us a killer review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321ghostpod and give us a follow. We would love to hear your thoughts on the film. And let us know if you'd like to see another chapter for Esther. Follow us on Letterboxd at 321ghostpod to see our boo scores on all the movies we've discussed so far. Next week, we're going back to the 80s with John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. Thanks again for listening, and remember, there's a hot daddy out there for everybody. 3, 2, 1, ghost.